Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another CreamCatCorner stream. So, um, oh god, okay. Sorry about the late start. Oh god, I was trying to stitch together my two PC, not PC, my two video that from last week that got because the stream crashed, right? I'm trying to piece the video together, but apparently it takes quite a long time to render, but eh, whatever. Hopefully, after the stream, it will be finished, but for now, let's get into this game, Going Under. But before that, how are you, Vigor? Welcome back. How am I? I'm good, actually. I've been busy. Actually, this week I've been busy doing something about my stream. Something about my stream. I'm not sure if I can tell you guys yet because I'm still learning about the whole thing. Man, apparently there's a lot of stuff involved when you are trying to make your PNG tubing stuff like that. Oh god, so confusing. But apparently, I think I'm done with my art. I'm doing air quotation right now, art, because apparently it's not the only thing that I did on my own is the body, the body of the character, but not the face. The face, if you see the artwork later, the face is not done by me. Just to be clear, I'm only doing the body on my own. And also, there's a lot of effects that I want to do, but I think I am not able to do it just yet. I just want to do the base stuff first, and then we go forward from that. You're good. Keep going with shapes. You're making a new factory. Oh, I will. I am so excited to play shapes. The game was fun. Is fun. I am so excited that I got to play that game more tomorrow. Also, did you see the lamb Cult of the Lamb animation? Yes, the Doom and Shroom by Mashed. Yes, I did saw it. It is a series, right? By Mashed. I saw a couple of and other animation by the same YouTuber. So yeah, I did watch the Doom and Shroom, the video that you sent. Um I didn't do it on stream because I don't think I am able to. Oh god, basically it's a copyright stuff. I'm not gonna even try doing it. But I did saw it. The Doom and Shroom. Rest in peace, Tobias. But yeah, that short has a lot of good animation. You like the part where the lamp is like, look, explain yourself. Dude, it kind of falls where it falls. Yeah, that that shot's clearly uh encapsulate what the game is all about. The followers like to eat poop. Okay. Okay. So about this game, right? This game is called Going Under. I've bought this game last year. I'm not exactly sure when is the exact date, but I've bought this game for over a year right now. And the reason why I got this game is because as you all know, I I had a job previously, and Basically, I was mismanaged by my manager. It made my life hellish. So I decided to take off from that place, and I decided to do my own small business. It's not perfect. It's not like I am able to do all sort of stuff. My business is still growing, but yeah, slow and steady. But it's much better for my mental health compared to when I was working in the previous company. Uh, and then I saw a trailer for this game. I think I bought this game when it was released out of beta, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought it was charming, and it hits close to home for me. And I thought, why not? Why not play this game soon? But I've been putting it off because I've been wanting to stream this game first and foremost. But I was trying to figure out how to stream it last year, but apparently I was too preoccupied with Mega Man X. But yeah, I'm sorry for the late delay for playing this game, but now I'm finally get to play it, I guess. Okay, Vigor. Also the lamp. Oh, that's a shame. You will miss them deeply. After seconds, are married now. I I know. The lamp is married to Tobias, and then he didn't feel any sort of remorse towards his spouse dying. Kinda like how I was in that game. Okay, let's get into the game, shall we? Okay, another thing that I want to say about this game's visual is that this is very corporate illustration. You know how those I I want to say Photoshop, Adobe. Adobe has this kind of illustration kind of style, or is it one of those American companies like those tax companies, or if you've ever seen a commercial in America, some of them have this kind of visuals. So it's kind of fitting that the game developer managed to implement that kind of generic artwork into the game, and I'm excited to see how. Ooh, Going Under is meant to be a difficult game, but we also understand that every player is unique. If you feel that our game is inaccessible due to its difficulty, we hope that these options will allow you to enjoy it. Oh. Oh, okay. I am gonna try doing it on normal first before I change any settings. So let's try that first.
Welcome to the beautiful city of Neo Cascadia. Did you have a nice monorail ride? We at Cubicle would like to congratulate you on joining the ranks of over 100,000
Oh my god,
employees
this
hired
is
through
so
the
corporate.
Impoverished Intern Initiative. As the largest e-commerce corporation in the nation-state, we're proud to support the next generation of innovators. It might be hard to believe, but Cubicle started out as nothing more than a great idea from someone just like you. Like so many Neo-Cascadian success stories, Cubicle began as a startup. Just a couple guys in a garage with nothing but a dream and a modest cash injection. That's why we're paying it forward. Since the inception of our company, we've acquired countless startups and provided them with funding and hard workers to help accelerate their success.
Oh no.
Our friendly integrated AI has assigned you as a marketing assistant at our latest member of the family, Fizzle Beverages. By inventing a sparkling water that's also a meal replacement, Fizzle cleverly disrupted two industries at once.
Oh no.
There's no better place for an intern to grow than somewhere like Fizzle, where you'll never be the smartest person in the room.
Okay.
When you're not hard at work with Fizzle, you'll have plenty of time to experience some of the rich Pacific Northwestern culture our great city has to offer. Now, let's go over some ground rules for your internship. First of all, never, under any circumstances, explore beneath the...
Hey, not to be rude, but I already know all this stuff. I had to watch this same video when I applied online. Oh, is that so? Then let's skip the formalities and get right to the fun part. I bet you're excited to meet your new co-workers, Jacqueline. Yeah, I can't wait. Oh my god, the artwork is it's really fun. The line work is really crisp and a little bit toothy. I like that. In that case, let's get this icebreaker underway. Just follow me over to the... Oh, not again. Ooh, what was that? Oh, it looks like the monsters have started escaping from the basement again. I really hate to do this to you on your first date, Jackie. Do what to me? Well, we can't go having a meeting with that thing running around the office. So I just need you to do me a small little favor and go kill that monster for me. What? Like kill? Like right now? I've never killed a person before. And you still won't have. Yeah, you're probably not used to the city life just yet, but here in New Cascadia, everyone kills their first monster sooner or later. If it makes it easier, just pretend you're in a video game. Classic. And picture its hit points slowly decreasing every time you land a blow. Consider this your first task as Fizzle Beverages' newest intern. Make us proud. Uh, alright. Time to go kill a monster, I guess? Oh my god. This is so... It reminds me a little bit of Canva. Find the monsters and kill it. Okay. Oh my god. Oh shoot. Oh, oh shoot. Okay, it is lagging so much on the stream. Okay, oof. Okay. Is it lagging on your end, Vigor? You just got ice cream because you have 36 to 37 degrees Celsius. Oh god, that is horrendous a bit. Okay, maybe I should turn down the resolution, I guess. Hopefully this is okay, this is much better, I guess. Pick up items and attack. Y, grab, X, attack. Okay. You. Hey. Oh god. Okay. Much better. Oh, thank goodness. There you go. That wasn't so hard, was it? Ugh, I feel sick. We got some crates of antacid flavor fizzle in the back. You did a great job, Jackie. Ugh, thanks. Now, there's just one tiny little extra step you've gotta take care of. And that's to go down into the dungeon and kill the rest of them. Wait, what? No way, dude. You need like an exterminator or something. It won't be hard, I promise. You took out that one so easily. There's probably only like 3 or 4 more lurking down in that slide. I said no, man. Find someone else. I'm not going down there. So be it then. I had really high hopes for you, Jackie. I reviewed your resume personally. But if you haven't got the motivation to work at Fizzle, maybe I should ask Avi to reconsider your position here. Hmm. Wait, wait. Yes? I'll do it. I'll go down there and take a look. Oh, excellent. I knew I saw the spark in you, Jackie. Come back and see me as soon as you've cleared out all those monsters. Oh, and don't take too long down there. Stand up is in 15 minutes. Oh god. What? Can I hit you? Hmm. And it's Joblin. This reminds me of LinkedIn. Oh god. Okay, whatever. I hope you are also hydrating, Vigor, because 36 to 37 degrees Celsius is really, really hot. Joblin LLC. Oh god. Can I pick something else? Oh. Oh, okay. I can cycle the stuff. Okay, the spear is good. Bean bombs. Focus on enemy. Left trigger. Oh god. Okay. Oh god. Okay. How do I... Oh shoot. Okay. How do I throw stuff? Ah, okay, that's not okay. I'm doing okay. That's interesting. Okay, okay. It's a really unique mechanic. It's a 3D environment. Roll through danger. Use the spear. I will. I'm gonna try. Oh god. How do I... Oh, he just got burned. Okay, interesting. Why can't I go that room? Interesting. Ooh. Learn skills to increase your power. Oh god. Retaliatory. Deal double damage briefly after being hit. Intimidating. Chance to knock down enemies upon entering a room. Yeah, sure, let's take that. Is there some... Ooh. Oh, okay, okay, that weapon is too heavy. You know what? Having a broom is much better because it is a long range kind of weapon, so that's good. Swap between item. Okay, I already did it. Thank you very much. Oh god, no, 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 no. Oh my god, I'm almost dead. Hello? What is that? Thumbtack? Interesting. Is there any health drops at all? Nothing. Nothing. Okay, that's okay. Ooh, tablet pen. Ooh, what is that? Can I... Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, interesting. I can spear them. Okay. Okay, okay, that's good, that's good. Throw junk from a distance. Okay, well, thank you for telling me that. A little bit too late. That meat. Oh god. Ah! I am one hit away from death. Ah, no! Intern evaluation. The intern Jackie was defeated by a cell sword on the floor B1 of Joblin. Oh god, okay, whatever. It is just the tutorial, so eh. Wait, what? Oh, I have to win. Well, now that I know what to do, let's just do better. Let's do better. I am literally being a keyboard warrior, huh? Okay, that's good. Okay, interesting. You. Oh god, okay. Not you. Oh man. Oh. Nice. Okay, let's go here, I guess. Ooh, we got something else. Agile, faster iteration time and faster dodge roll. Gain an empty heart. Oof. Okay, let's get agile. That was you when your keyboard doesn't work. I feel that. Sometimes you just want to smash stuff when it doesn't work as intended. Oh, okay. Interesting. The weapon is really slow, huh? Oh god. Hey! Hey! Sir? Okay. I'm scared. I can't believe I got my ass kicked. this many time. Okay, whatever. Bike club, you're coming with me. Nice. That went better. Ooh. Please. Oh god. Okay. Charge your attack to hit harder. Ooh, nice. Oh, snap. 2 in 1. Nice. Oh god. Tell me how to get that crossbow. One shot at. Yeah. Two. Oh god. The caffeine. Oh my god. Okay. Regarding the unacceptable long bathroom breaks taken by contractors, from now on, all toilet seat will be Oh god. I know this is a joke, but apparently they really did this. Some companies really did this. From now on, all toilet seat will be angled at 45 degrees to encourage uh I smell something. I smell a productivity blocker. Uh, hey, are you the boss around here? I got sent down here to let you know you guys really aren't supposed to be like we have no time for holdups, not at this stage of the job. Eliminate this blocker, contractors, and then we will resume our daily sync up. Do not try to sneak away to the bathroom after the battle or I will know. Oh shoot. Ah! Oh snap. Ah! Oh. Freaking. Ah. That's. Oh. Apparently I was not God gaming then. Thank you everyone for joining me for our daily stand up. You told us it was mandatory. Swamp. Thank you, Swamp. First thing first, I would like to introduce you all to our new intern. Everyone put your hands together for Jacqueline Fiasco. I'm here! I'm here. Am I late? A new hire? Jeez, the budget's tight enough as it is. I do believe Miss Fiasco is unpaid. Oh, fuck off. Unpaid internship is the worst. Tappy. Oh, thank God. Jacqueline, why don't you break the ice by telling us a bit about yourself? Start with your name, your favorite flavor of the fizzle, and your deepest, most passionate live stream. You just told us her name. Be cool, Kara. My favorite fizzle flavor is, I guess, Szechuan apricot. I dream of one day having health insurance. God, this is, oh god. Oh, a bold choice of flavor. I like her already. Jackie is here for what was the ad for again? Marketing? A marketing internship. Whoa, who's she's interning for then? I thought Evie took care of all our marketing. Try to be open-minded, Kara. Obstinance equals obsolescence. Just because all our advertising and PR is handled by a cutting-edge neural network doesn't mean there isn't room for a human touch here and there. Well said, sir. Fern, what's obstinance? As for her specific duty, I'm sure Eddie can come up with something. Until then, think of Jackie like our own office, our little Our own little office assistant. If you need a helping hand with anything, don't be afraid to ask her. I must admit, it would be splendid to have someone to test my newest flavor out on. And I could always use a second pair of eyes on the company finances. Whatever. I guess I'm on board. The less we have to rely on machines around here, the better. You mean even I get to tell her what to do? Score. Nice to meet you, everyone. That's the welcoming team I know and love. And speaking of which, how about we close out this stand up with our company chant? That's fantastic idea, sir. I think I remember it. Ahem. What do we make? Bizzle! What can it do? Replace breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Why do we make it? Scene. Oh god. Come on, guys. You know this one. Scene. It's to make the world a better place. Oh, indeed. How could I forget? They usually get it right. It's a Monday. You understand? We're like a family around here. You'll see soon enough, Jackie. I can't wait. Well, that concludes our daily stand up. Have a great work day, everyone. Jackie, stay after the meeting. We will need to discuss our little goblin problem. I want to say groblin. It's goblin. Oh god. You like Swamp? Yeah, Swamp is really laid back kind of person. You know the logo for Fizzle? It really reminds me of Facebook logo. Interesting. Hello, Marv. Can I pick up anything here? No. Ooh, Marcus sword. Oh my god. Yes. Thank you for that. So, did you make it? Make it where? To the bottom. To the bottom of the dungeon. Where the boss hangs out. Does it look like I made it? I totally got my butt kicked, man. I'll be real with you. I don't even think it's possible to make it that far. Just that's no good, Jackie. You're gonna need to start thinking more positively if you want to make any progress. You don't think someone else might be better suited for this job? The ad said that this was a marketing internship. I'm not cut out for fighting monsters. I don't like the situation any more than you do, Jackie. But with those goblins constantly crawling up from the underground and stealing our office supplies, we're never going to be able to make our milestones. Deal with our little monster issue, and I promise we'll have you writing social media posts faster than you can hit the dabs. Oh god. Or whatever you kids your age do. So I guess you want me to try again? You guessed right. Hang in there, Jackie. You'll be done with this task before you know it. Also, pay your intern. Pay their intern. God, is that so hard to do? You don't even have to do the full wage. At least pay them. God. Did you know that when I was doing my internship, I am also an unpaid intern. Interesting enough. Oh god. And the job market is hard enough to find jobs in. Oh hello, who are you, Tappy? What's it like being an accountant for Fizzle? Oh, it's here and there. Her skirt reminds me of bubble tea. Or boba. I run the numbers. I tell Marth we're over budget. Marth tells Ray. Ray ignores it. Rinse and repeat. The systems hasn't. Oh god. The system hasn't failed us so far yet. Oh man. Oh man. Oh god. Swamp. Hello, Swamp. Hi, my name's Jackie. Hey, babe. Name's Swamp. Don't worry it out. Swamp like a marsh? Meaning it will fail soon, Vigor? Yes. Apparently, all this startup is too big to fail, right? They will receive handout from the government because they are too big to fail. Oh god. Well, babe, a marsh contains no wood plants by definition, whereas a swamp can support many varieties of tree. But yeah, pretty much only it's spelled with an O. Nice to meet you, Jackie. We should hang out. Yeah, sure thing. Also, swamp reminds me of someone. He gives a vibe of someone that is really smart, but choose not to portray their smartness to the world. Who else should I talk to? Is that the only two people that I can talk to? Oh, hello, who are you? Oh god. Your friend, right? Indeed, I'm the lead flavorist here. Oh, cool. So you invent the fizzle flavors? That sounds like fun. It is more stressful than you could imagine, Jacqueline. But I do it for the art of flavor. Oh, okay, friend. Where is the little guy? I have yet to see her. Maybe she's upstairs? Big boss? Oh god. Yeah, I don't see all the characters here. Am I missing someone? Oh god, is it? Oh, I was thinking, is it night yet? Oh, it's not. You know what? I don't see the little dude. Maybe we should just go. Okay, you know what? Let's go. Oof, it's lagging a bit. I think I need to reduce the resolution quite a bit more. I didn't expect this game to be lagging. You know, Vigor, you know people say that money don't grow on tree, right? You're absolutely right. Some monies are made of paper and paper is made out of trees, therefore money is basically made from trees. You're right. Oh, that makes me question, what is your money made out of in your country? For my country, we have plastic. Our money is made out of plastic. Is it plastic? Yes, it is. I think it's been more than 20 years. Is it 20 years? I think more than 10 years since we converted into plastic money. I still have a little bit. um do I still have paper money? But the last time I've ever used paper money was when I was a kid, when I was in like early middle school. Reach the bottom of Joblin and defeat the boss. Okay, here goes nothing. Man, this game this game truly is something. It really reminds me of the horrors of corporate life. Okay, a stapler. Too bad we didn't get to keep all of the weapon we received upstairs. Oh, hey. Okay, interesting. I need a melee weapon, a much stronger. Ooh, Jobo Spear, nice. Ooh, a sword. Okay, that's good, that's good. A sword is good. What is this? Oh, dang, okay. Oh, what is this? Holy shit. We got the chance to buy stuff then. Interesting. Ooh, what is this? A Jobo Warhammer? You buying anything? Loitering isn't permitted here. Aren't you gonna attack me or something? Why would I do that? Seems pretty bad for business. Fail forward. Come back from defeat is stronger than before. Oh, okay. I don't have enough money, but thank you for the options, I guess. Okay. You have some paper money, vigor, and some pennies and stuff that are made from like metal or something. Uh-huh. Interesting. Speaking of coins, right? We used to have a coin made out of gold. I think it is gold. At least that's what people told me. It was made out of gold. And I was so sad when they discontinued the production of that coin. Instead, they change it, not change it. Basically, they simply stop the production of that coin and then move on to banknotes. So sad. Also, just so you know, if you go to Japan, you will be rich. Want to know why? Ooh, why, Vigor? There's something that you have that you can sell in Japan, or is it your currency is much higher than Japan? Ooh, pugilist. Punch above your weight. Oh my god, they really do it, huh? The 45-degree angle toilet. Dang. You can sleep when you're dead? Dang. Okay, this game is really um hitting close to home. Because 1 euro, which is your country's currency, is equal to 156 yen, which is current Japan's currency. So if you go to Japan with euros, you basically have 31,193 yen. That's a lot, actually. For me, one yen is 100 yen is like what? Almost four ringgit. That is my currency. So eh, it's much more expensive for me. 200 euros. 1,000 euros is equal to 155,964 yen. Oof. That's quite a lot. But yeah, I uh I did went to Japan, and there basically it's a good place to visit. But oh man, before I go into the game, let me tell you about my experience in Japan. Basically, it is a fun place to visit. have a vacation there, but I've heard uh, something about the work culture in Japan that makes me quite scared to go and work in Japan because they are extremely workaholic. They really put their job first and their life second. At least that's the impression I got from reading the situation in Japan. Um, I did. The place that I visit was in Kanazawa. Interesting enough, it has one of the oldest garden in all of Japan. I'm not sure if it's in the world, but in the Japan, it is one of the oldest. It has one of the oldest uh, garden in Japan. So that's really neat. And it's also the home of the I think it's home of the gold leaf. You know when people pound gold into small flat gold leaf? Yeah. Kanazawa is home to that place. What's my currency called? Ringgit Malaysia. RM. If you search MYR, that is the currency is called in my country, in Malaysia. The locals call it Ringgit Malaysia, RINGGIT. But most international people call it MYR, Malaysian Ringgit. So basically, yeah, I do have some good memories visiting Japan. Oh, also, I did visit when I was visiting Japan. It was like almost Christmas time, and meaning it is winter. And if you are planning to visit Japan in winter, you would be in a treat. If you like seafood, you will be in a treat because there's a lot of fresh seafood there. I mean, I think that's the first time I've had a fresh squid that has a very translucent body. I did get the squid sashimi. Ooh, that texture is really good. It is chewy. It's not it's not fishy at all. It's really it tastes briny. And when you eat it with soy sauce and a little bit of wasabi, it is really good. I love that. The only thing, not the only thing, one of the things that I've missed in Japan is how commonplace fresh seafood is. And did you know that you can eat raw eggs in Japan? And raw egg and ice and rice. I didn't expect to love it, but apparently I did. I did love it. And also they have this drink in the winter. They have this drink that called amazake. Man, that drink when you are drinking in a cold weather, a warm cup of that drink, amazake, is so good. It is sweet, but not too overly sweet. It's really good. Man, now I miss Japan. I miss going there, but oh god, am I'm going in circles. Okay, that's okay. I need to focus. You. Oh god. Hey. Interesting. Okay, so in Madagascar, the currency is called Ariary, something like that, and 1 ringgit is equal to 968 Ariary. Hey, why did you? Interesting. But €1 is equals to 4,964. Dang, it's almost 4,000 difference, huh? But I don't really mind. But the cost of living has been rising drastically. So much so it is really hard to maintain a business nowadays. Ooh, new job available. Accept. Defeat enemies. Okay. Oh shoot. Okay. What is this?
Cubicle has your back.
Bougie cube. What is this? A job witch? Oh, it heals me. What is this? Okay. A pogo stick. Interesting, interesting. Can it hit? Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay, that's Oh my god, is that Yo, Pepe the Frog? Oh my god, it is. Scuff Frogo. Oh god, okay. With 2,000 euros, if you go to Madagascar, you are basically rich because it's equal to 992,000. Wait, what? Sorry, 9 million. 9,927,278 Ariari. Yeah, but oh god, what is this? Interesting. What is this? But you still, I think. Okay. Time to. Nice. Okay.
Delivery for Jacqueline.
What is this? She don't miss. All your thrown items are homing. Ooh. That is that good? I think it is. Whee! But yeah, even if you go to Madagascar, you still have to buy stuff that basically have the same, if not more expensive stuff, since all of those stuff are imported. Unless you are buying local stuff, yeah, then yes. I guess that's why most people from developing countries like to go to not developing countries, sorry, more um, developed countries to go to developing countries because they like to have less a reduced cost of living. I guess that's why, huh? But then again, that's also the reason why rent is getting higher and higher. At least in certain cases where people are going for a remote work from home kind of job, and then they move into a place where they have a very low cost of living, right? And they fill up that place, and then the locals doesn't have any place that they can rent, so that's a problem in of itself. So yeah, Oh damn. Okay, you think? Never mind. You're not rich because one water is 2,000 area. Oh my god. Oh man. Yeah, see, it's not that it's not that they have a very low currency, just that they are at an inflated value. But then again, in my perspective, that is reasonable. 2,000 area is like what? Almost 2 ringgit. 2 ringgit for me. Oh god, it is expensive. How many milliliters is that, Vigor? Because if it is like what, 500 mils of water, that is expensive. Because for me, 500 mils of water can get less than 1 ringgit. But then again, I'm not sure how the currency work in other places. Oh god, oh god, no, no. Ah! Oh my god. Dang. My weapon sucks? Question mark. Okay. Is that Prince? It is Prince. Woo! Oh god. Ooh, the Skellycaster. Nice, nice. Oh my god. 300 mils of water bottle. A bottle of water that is 300 mils is 2,000 area, and for you 2,000 area is 40 cent. Is that a good deal for you, Vigor? For me, it's not. I can get like what? Less than that? Or more? Oh god. Oops, I changed I changed the language there for a second. Hey. Oh my god. Whoa. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Uh, it's a shop. Please tell me it's a shop. Oh my god, yes, thank you. Avocado toast, a delicious alternative to home ownership. Oh, dang. Okay. Hazel Classic. I want to buy an avocado toast, please. Thank you very much. And Fizz Classic. Ooh, what is this? Stress Eater. Oh man, I should have bought this first, huh? Do I want this? Sure, why not? Anything to increase my survivability is good. I mean, so Vigor, you mean in Greece, a water is 25 to 30 cent for like 500 mils? You don't remember how much is the liters of a small bottle? Small bottle for us, for me, is like what? It's either 200 or 250. I think it is 200. Yeah, it's 200 mils for me. But 300 liter is a little bit odd. I've never seen a water bottle that has 330 mils of water before. Even soft drinks are not priced like that. Ooh, a Jobo spear. Not exactly the best. A tablet pen. Have I gone to this room yet? I don't think so. Oh, come on. Okay, sure, let's go to this. Oh god, what is this? Hello? The entrepreneur! Oh, dang. Okay. A Dracula? Well, well, I see you've made it to my humble garage. No offense, man, but I think everyone's kind of over the whole enigmatic shopkeeper thing. Just show me what you're selling so I can get out of here. Ah, a restless one you are. Spending your cash is all well and good, but do you know what's better than items? Knowledge. In fact, I'm far more proud of my vast collection of literature than I could ever be of my wares or my sweet car. But you do like sell stuff here, right? In a sense, but the price may be harsher than currency. Interesting. And also, how did you manage to park your car in such a way like this? Interesting. Curse of employee benefits. For the next two combats, your enemies shall be in peak condition. Do I dare take this? You know what? Sure. Acquire. Oof. Diesel Classic. Deal extra damage. The best defense against unwanted conversation. Ooh, the unapproachable. Okay, let's take, since we have 3 hearts, let's try the unapproachable. Oh my god, what is that? Oh god. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, bigger. 25 to 20 cents for zero point 0.5 liters of water for you. Madagascar is a bad deal. I know, right? Sounds like a ripoff. But then again, Madagascar is it an island? Is it a continent? Oh man, I'm not that well versed in geography. But then again, yeah, I think it's mostly because they have to um ship import. I think it's import their water. I'm not even sure. Oh, what is this? Accept. Hey. Oh, come on. Whoa. Oh god, oh god, please. No, no, no. Oh man. I died. I died. Intern evaluation. Failed to make expectation. Oh no. Well, it's, it's Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Dang. I was confident, but hmm. Fern? Hi, Fern. Jacqueline, just the intern I want to see. You were looking for me? Indeed, I was. Ho ho ho. I got this new Cajun avocado flavor I've been working on, but no one in the office will even touch it. Ugh, yeah, I'll pass. I'm more of a teriyaki durian kind of gal. Ooh, speaking of durian, I know most people are not that keen on durian. Also, it's it's funny when people describe durian. They say it like it smells like feet, which I think is an exaggeration because it doesn't smell like feet to me. I mean, it does have a very strong smell, but it doesn't smell as awful as feet. I'm not sure why these people keep on saying it smells like feet. That's the only time I don't understand why they call it smell like feet. Even the strongest smelling cheese, I don't call it smelling like feet. I don't even understand why. Oh, hello, Swamp. You ever tried just lighting a bunch of stuff on fire out of boredom? No. It's pretty fun, to be honest. Great way to release some pent up anger. Not that I have any of that. I don't know, man. Sounds pretty dangerous. You would think so, but it's not so scary when you know the secret trick. The secret trick is to stand away from the fire. Dang. Why didn't I think of that? Next time you're in the dungeon, you ought to try picking up one of those big torches and just going to town. You won't regret it, I promise. Light a bunch of stuff on fire. Ooh, thank you, Swamp. Tappy? What does a gal gotta do to get a decent cup of coffee around here? All we've got is coffee flavored fizzle. Just half a can of that stuff makes me feel bloated. I know you're new here, but I don't suppose you could pick me up an espresso machine for my desk? That sounds doable. They seem to be drinking a lot of coffee down in the dungeon. Dungeon? Yeah, the dungeon beneath the office. I will never understand your generation's crazy lingo. Come back with that espresso machine before I pass out, okay? Is that a dog? Eclair! Oh my god, what a fitting name for you. Oh my god. Ruff, ruff. Oh my god, Eclair is so cute. Kara, you're the programmer here. Lead engineer. You like computers then? Who told you that? I'll kick their ass. Interesting. Okay, hello Marth. What's with the sour face, young lady? It's just all I've been doing since I've got here is killing goblins. I hope my marketing internship will involve a little more marketing and a little bit less murder. Well, that's just the beauty of internships. You never quite know just what you'll be getting into each day, or what weapon you'll be wielding, or what monsters I'll be fighting. Exactly, see, all you need is a change in attitude. Well, Marth, thanks for nothing. Okay, let's head back into Joblin. Oh man. Okay, let's just try. Let's try and try again. This is a roguelike. Every single run, we are getting more and more better and stronger. Woo. Okay. Nice. A job witch. You're lucky my health is full right now. You can't stop watching the video you recorded one day. One day ago, you meant? Ooh, what kind of video you are recording, Vigor? Okay, interesting. Let's get some new weapon. Oof. A pencil? Yeah, sure. A penny puncher. Your first crit on enemy will earn you a buck or two. Critical chance up by 10%. Your cubicle rewards member. Opening crit earns extra cash. Ooh, that sounds fun. Okay, let's go fight some. Nice. Apparently the ping pong paddle is much stronger than I've given it credit. Should use that. Oh god, okay. God dang it. Come here. Are you kidding me? Interesting, interesting. I need a better. Ooh, Jobble Mace, thank you very much. I need a stronger weapon. And also I need hearts. Let's go back. Where is a Jobo sword? Yeah, sure. It's better than nothing. I also need the job witch. Oh man, it doesn't. Oh god, it doesn't save. So, oof, big oof. So in a game called Friday Night Funkin', which is a rap battle, you have two songs called Shinto and Shit No, and in both songs you change the character with two characters from other games, and Shit No is so well made with the characters you pick. Ooh, what character do you use? Oh no. Nice. Still got 5 stars. So that's good.
Enjoy your cue.
Ooh, a Frogo. Okay, don't mind if I do. Okay, what is this? An espresso machine cost me 60 bucks. What is this? Compose. Stay invincible for much longer after being hit. Gain extra heart. Ooh, that's gonna be much stronger for me. Okay, so let's buy Joblin Spice Latte. I can't even. Entry level caffeination. Oh god, oh god. Nice.
Thank you for your business.
Ooh, what is this? Stress eater. Eating food increase strength for a bit. Don't mind if I do. A Jobo mace. Oh my god, the broom. The broom. The broom is vibrating. Interesting enough. Sus barrel. Interesting. Okay, whatever. Okay. I just need to survive until the boss fight, huh? Hey! No thanks to you, sir. Okay, that is a shop. Oh god, okay. I don't need anything right now, so let's go for now. You monster! Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, okay. Interesting, interesting. My weapon is... Oh god. All of this weapon sucks. Bone Club is much better, I guess. What is this? Ooh, Room for Growth. Gain an empty heart. Or Resourceful. Cubicle boxes contain an extra item. Yeah, sure, let's take this. Sounds useful for us right now. Nothing of interest, huh? Ooh, I didn't know that would happen. It healed us. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Joblin. Hey! Oh god, oh god. Dang it! Who? Are you stuck, sir? Dang. All of my
guaranteed.
all of my weapon sucks. Come on, man. Come on. Okay, thank you. Busted Frogo. Okay. Ooh, what is this? Okay, first thing first. Job witch. Thank you. Job seeker. Smart. Interesting, interesting. What does it do? Oh god. Ah! Oh, it attacks. Oh, interesting. It attacks for you. Interesting, interesting. Go, my spear. Are you... Oh god, okay. A Frogo. Two Frogo. Okay. Whoops. Okay, good, good, good. Um, Vigor. So yeah, yes, I do want to know which character you put in the song. Yes, please do tell me. Okay, that is to the next level. What is this? Okay, so I get the basic idea. I take a curse and you give me some items in exchange, yeah? Correctamundo, miss. What I don't get is what's in it for you. What do you gain out of cursing me? Do you see all my bookshelves to the side? Every book in those bookshelves contain a curse. In fact, I recently installed 10 new bookshelves to hold over 2,000 new curses I bought. I acquired some new curses faster than I can cast them. Cast a curse a day is my philosophy of late. So, you're just trying to get rid of them? It is also quite entertaining to watch you fight while cursed. Interesting. Because of distraction, for the next 5 combats you will find it impossible to focus. Sure. Oof, okay. Okay, let's take the Physio Classic then. Oh god. Okay, good, good. This is good. Oh, thank goodness for the Frogo. Oh god. You. Oh man, I destroyed the meat.
Please leave a review.
What is this? A go-getter. Move and attacks faster. Oh man, I can't go back. Dang. Okay, whatever. Ooh. Interesting. We can use the pipe cap. So as opponent, you put a streamer you watch with his Creeper Terraria skin, and your character you replace him with Grimchild. Yo, I should have expected you would put Grimchild somewhere, right? Okay, let's use the busted Frogo for a bit. Oh god. Okay. Oh god, oh god, oh god, okay. Oh god, no, no, no. Job seeker. Attack. Okay. 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 Just be careful not to get hit again. And we'll be peachy. Okay. Busted Progo. I really need... Oh god. I need that mace. Come on, man. Okay, thank you. Is that so hard? Nice. Ooh, a Jobo sword. Critical chance up. Nice. A tablet pen. You're lucky, tablet pen. Okay, let's see what we have in here. Oh god. Nice. Okay. Okay, this is good. Should be fine. The keyword here is should. Oh god, what is this? What is this? No, 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 no. No. Oh god. Ooh, thank goodness. Curse lifted. The curse of distraction has been lifted. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, 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 okay. Now I can focus. Exit strategies. Exiting a crawl explodes whatever you were under. A crawl? How can I crawl? What is this? Clap back. After taking damage, knock down nearby enemies. Sounds good. So let's take that. Please. I want food. I think I'm better off taking the sword rather than using a keyboard. Dang it! Okay. I have a lot of money. Ooh. What does it do? I'm not even sure. What is this? Qubits? Do I want it? What is this? Ooh, I do need more of this. Let's buy that and buy this. Okay, good, good. For now, that's okay. The Joblin. Accept. Hey! Interesting.
Your order has been delivered.
A job wage, thank you. Ooh. What the? Interesting. What the?
Have a great day.
That is really unfortunate. Back and you got the crossbow. Yeah. Come back from defeat stronger than before. I do have a crossbow, huh? Triple shot. That thing really carried me just then. Okay. Okay, good, good. Okay, the problem here is, do I want an avocado toast? Toast. Ooh. Okay, Frogo is good, so I'm gonna buy this first because I don't want to die. And let's buy the Frogo. Let's go! Oh god. Oh god, the caffeine. Productivity perfected, the caffeine. Hey! Oh god. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Okay, 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 okay. Uh-oh. I'm scared. I'm scared. Hello? What are you gonna do? Oh! Okay. Are you... Did you seriously throw your friend? Okay. It's getting much more... Oh god. Ah! No. Please. No. Oh shoot. Okay. Okay, a crossbow. A crossbow. Okay, he's doing an attack. Attack move. Oh dang. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. No, no. No, no. Job seeker, help me. Ah! Oh god, the job seeker is done for. Okay. Nice. Okay, good. Okay, good, good, good. Grrr. Small-minded, uncaffeinated human intern. This setback will not stop us. We will eliminate all blockers and complete the job. And after this job, another and another. A joblin's work is never done. Do not think that you can derail us with your naivety and lack of hustle. Enjoy your victory, human intern. It will be your last. Um, Thank you? What is this? The mana press. An elixir to prevent exhaustion. Permanently increase your max health. Ooh, thank you. Can I go back? I can't go back. Interesting. Oh man, I feel bad now. I didn't buy the coffee machine. Let's return. I don't think we're gonna use the money. Ah, is it just me, Vigor, or do you get Hades vibes from this game? Because you go through the series of level until the boss of each area or dungeon and can interact with NPC after losing. Yeah. I think that's just how roguelikes work in general, I guess. Bear in mind, I haven't played a lot of roguelikes before before Hades. So the only benchmark I can compare to is Hades when I am talking about this game, huh? But yeah, it does reminds me of Hades without the without the gods reference. I'm guessing you get this. Then basically you are going down into the Joblin is basically going down uh, hmm going down in hell, huh? I don't know. Visual news checking. You made it all the way this time, didn't you? I know a satisfied intern when I see one. I sure did. Beat up the boss and everything. I gotta admit, you were right, Marth. Making it all the way down there was frustrating, but I can't help but feel proud now that I've finally done it. By the end, I was even having a little fun. But don't get me wrong, I'm glad to be done with the dungeon so I can move on to my real internship. Real internship? Huh? Yeah, the real one. The marketing one? The one I applied for the field I have a degree in? Oh, that's right. Silly me. It's just you're so good at killing those monsters, you could have convinced me it was your real job. It will almost be a shame to assign you a boring old marketing position. Anyways, you got the relic, right? The what? Oh, you mean this thing? Yeah, I think the boss was guarding it. Oh, splendid! Give it here, quickly. It's magnificent. I had only heard rumors whispered in the corners of entrepreneurship forums. What is it, anyway? I thought my job was just to clear out the monsters. Of course, defeating the monsters is important, but now that we have proof of the relic's existence, well, that changes everything. This, Jackie, is the Mana Press. The story goes with its arcane caffeine synthesized. I can't even talk. Caffeine synthesizing powers, the employees at Joblin LLC were able to work longer and more efficiently than any of their industry competitors, driving their startup to massive success. If you thought Fizzle Beverages was successful now, just wait until you see what our team can accomplish once we install this beauty. Are you sure that's a good idea? The workers down there seem less than healthy. Jackie, there goes your close mindedness again. You really need to start thinking like an entrepreneur. Just because a startup went downhill eventually doesn't mean that it didn't have some great ideas or powerful magical artifacts behind them. There's always lesson to be learned, even from failure. That's not really what I was. No, behold. The mana press. Wow, I feel kinda tingly. I think you mean productive. And I've got some more good news too. When the cleaning crew was sweeping up late last night, they uncovered a new slide to a cryptocurrency startup. And get this, the screams of the undead have been emanating from it all morning. Isn't that fantastic? There's got to be a new relic down there. Reanimated corpses and cryptocurrency? I honestly can't decide which is worse. Hurry up and start working on the next dungeon, and I'll give you my word I'll have a chat with AV about getting you on the marketing team straight away. But you told me. I'll get right on it, sir. Yikes. Oh, who are you? Thanks for taking this meeting, everyone. Mandatory. During today's stand up, we have the rare pleasure of being joined by the member of Fizzle himself, the founder. Give it up for Raymond. Kapow! What's jamming, rock stars? Yikes. Yay! Yay! That's the kind of good vibes I'm talking about. Just reggae is fine though, remember? We're all buddies here. As you all know, Fizzle Beverages was recently acquired by Cubicle TM, the world leader in machine learning and drone shipping operation. Now we have more money that we can possibly spend. This is the end game every entrepreneur dreams of. Shabam! But I would be a mega waste if we slept on Cubicle's super red tech and didn't integrate it into some even super rad projects of our own, right? With that in mind, I'll pass the mic to our very own smart office, Evie. Ahem. Yo, Evie, please tell us about the new product. Hello, friends. Isn't the weather decent today? After testing over large number scenarios in my official cubicle model universe, I have determined the most effective business decision for Fizzle with a shrewdness index of over 5.03. Raymond, drum roll please. Please. Bada 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 bada. Announcing FizzGo, the Fizzle companion app. By making use of Cubicle's bleeding edge user forward data cloud, customers will be able to track their Fizzle consumption, have new flavors recommended to them, and share their Fizzle experience to our new built-in social network. Wow, sounds like everything I hate. Yo, Evie, please tell me I've got nothing to do with this project. Marth, who is this negative Natalie in the back? That's your lead software engineer, sir? Well, I've got great news for you. I'm officially pivoting the entire Fizzle development team to go work on FizzGo starting today. That's good news, right? What were you upset about again? Are you kidding me? The whole team? That's completely nuts. Who's going to maintain the website? Our internal tools. Nuts are for squirrel, baby. I'm sure the programmers will figure it out. With all the hella dope 10... Oh god, I don't know how to pronounce that. Tensors on this team, I'm 200% sure you can crush this without breaking a sweat. Alrighty, anyone else have any questions? Preferably one that aren't total bombers. Will this affect the flavors? Of course not, Fern. I know the flavors are your babies, bro. I could never rob you out of control over what you're passionate about. Sounds like it's all smooth sailing then. Ba-boom! I would distribute some company phones right away so everyone can help better test the app. It will be just like a fun group project. You're all a team. Isn't everything like a group project? That's the spirit, Jackie. Everyone will have their part to play in Fisgo's development, from the engineers who make it to everyone else who give unsolicited feedback at all hours of the day. Heck yeah, brother. I knew I picked the right project manager. I would high five all of you, but I totally tweaked my twist. I totally tweaked my wrist playing e-tennis, man. Oh god, that's a tongue twister there. You'll just have to imagine it. That concludes today's stand up, everyone. Don't forget to check the employee kiosk for your new task. Don't forget to check your butt for my food, Marth. I feel for Kara. Apps unlock. Find them throughout the dungeon. Dang. Oh, what is this? So, this is the smart office everyone is talking about. You don't look so smart to me. What is 63 to the power of 429? Hmm? What's the capital of Neo Cascadia? Hello? Is this thing even on? Oh! Oh my god. I can smack people with AV. Ooh, what is this? Go big or go under. Break hits deal more damage. Conflict resolver, a shocking response to taking damage. Heavy hitter, deal more damage with heavy items. Swing for the fence, knock enemies back further and deal more damage when they bonk into walls. Do I want that? Yo, you're the founder of this place, aren't you? The very same. You must be our new little go-getter. Intern, yup. Your generation's lucky as heck, you know that? I only wish I would be able to start gaining experience at such a young age. Maybe then I wouldn't have to go through bankrupt 3 times before finally finding success. Sounds rough. You bet it was, but the startup game is all about perseverance. Lesson number 1, kid. Never be afraid to take out loans from your parents. Oof. Big oof. I'll keep that in mind. Dang. But bam! Who's ready for some entrepreneur advice straight from your favorite CEO? I sure hope it's you, kiddo. I guess I wouldn't mind learning a bit about how you run the company. Alright, lesson number 1. When you're given a job to do it perfectly. And how do you do that? You simply don't make any mistake. Sure, show me what you got, kid. Sure thing. What do you want me to do again? Complete a job with 5-star. Easy, easy. We've done that in my dreams. That sound like impossible things to do. Tappy. Hi, Jackie. Hey, Tappy. How goes the number and stuff? Yeesh, oh, you okay, Jay? You look straight up zombified. Eh, I'll keep bashing my head against this dungeon, but nothing seems... I can talk. Nothing seems to work. As hard as I try, I always get my ass kicked before I reach the bottom. Are these like metaphors or... No, Tappy. I'm talking... literally. You're lucky. You can't be hit. Ooh. Oh my god. Sticks coin. Cryptocurrency. Well, that's just peachy. Do I want to go into Styx coin? You know what? Yeah, let's go. What is this? Employee kiosk. No mentor assigned. Pin skill, no skill. Okay. Oh, I can't change, huh? Interesting. Oh, okay, you can choose. Okay, okay. Basically, the more you play, the more skill you unlock, and you can choose a permanent skill to take with you, I guess. Okay, you know what? Let's go into sticks. Let's go see what the cryptocurrency do. Get it? Because it's the crypt, as in cryptocurrency. But so far, this game is really creative in implementing the horror of corporate into a game. A torch. Oh, oh shoot. Okay. Oops. Can I light anything else on fire? I think that's also one of the requirement, right? Oh, a bat? Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh shoot, okay. Are you kidding me? Interesting. Ooh, a smart bone club. Can I... Oh my god, a blockchain. Get it? Get it? Oh god. Okay, interesting, interesting. Retaliatory or room for growth. Let's take this then. Man, this is... It hits too close to home. Felix Cube. Hey! Oh my god. Nice. Oh my god, I should have picked it up, not gaslight. Oh my god. Let's gaslight people then. Ooh, what is this? A blank card, an enchanted card capable of capturing an enemy's soul and detailed employment history. Do I want to get it? Is this a good? Oh god, no no. I'm almost dead. what is this? A mob flash? Felt cute, might delete later. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I do need to buy something. Oh, hello. For 31,000 sticks coin, I get milk, good for bones, gain shield. What is this? Qubits? I still need coin? What the Okay. Oh my god. Look at this. One sticks coin is equals to 0.0024 Neo Cascadia dollars. A human heart? Gain heart? Is this legal? Yo, okay. Zans. And who is this? Hey, you got any sticks coin? I got the goods. This is just Kelly. I thought you only sold stuff for cashier. Shh. Nah, man. Sticks is the future. Paper money is dead, so. The new Cascadia dollar is about to crumble. Just give it 5 to 10 years. 5 or 6 years. Everyone will be like, what are dollars? Never heard of that crap, man. Sounds whack. Okay, but like you are selling stuff for dollars, like 10 feet to the right there. Nah, couldn't be me, bro. That's some stupid no coiner I'm forced to share shop space with to cut costs. You haven't been talking to him, haven't you? Don't be a sucker, bro. Hey, you got some sticks coming from all those skeletons, right? Not on purpose, but sure. I assume you want some? Heck nah, man. Cash is still king, and sticks is only going downhill from here. You better cash out now before the sticks hits the fan, friendo. I got the goods ready when you do. That's not fun. Okay, let's... Oof, okay. Start earning sticks coin. Become a miner today. Oof. What the... What the fuck is happening? What? Oh, you gotta go. Okay, sure. I'll see you later, okay, Vigor? Thank you for dropping by. Man. Hmm. Maybe sticks... It's not the place for me to go just yet. Hey yo, sport. Seems like you've been through a lot recently. That's one way of putting it. Have you ever thought about working from home for a few days a week? In these uncertain times, it's becoming more and more accepted. What? I can't read dungeons from home? Do you even know what my job is? Look, kid, I'm trying to suggest that you took a break, okay? Everyone knows working from home is code for ordering takeout and watching TV. That's not how it works. Man, because of you, people have such bad image about remote working. Is that so? I guess it has been a while since I took a day for myself. There will be plenty of monsters to murder when you get back, so get your butt out of those doors and back to your house. Yeah, house. Jackie's room unlocked. Exit through the gate to take a break at home. Yay! Oh my god. Oh my god, the cat. Oh my god, this is lo-fi. Lo-fi girl, who? Ooh. Oh, I want to be a Joblin. Yeah. What is this? I look good. Is that it? TMYK. I get it. I get it. Wait, that is that all? Oh my god, what is that? Yeet, read, and love. Oh my god. Yeah, you go, girl. You go. Okay. You know what? Let's do one more run, and then we'll end the stream. Okay, swing for the fence. Do I want to buy all this? Nah, I'm not buying it just yet. Okay, here's the plan. Ooh, what is this? Kara? Hey, intern, you got a phone, right? I'm alive, aren't I? Just checking. You know, from a security standpoint, I can only advise that you throw that thing away immediately. You're definitely being tracked by at least 5 governments every time you text your girlfriend on that piece of a backdoor riddled hellware. I'm not throwing out my phone for your recommendation, lady. I barely know you. Tell you what, go use your phone down in the dungeon for a bit so I can run some diagnostic. And I'll have those security loopholes patched for you before you can say NSA. Install 10 apps. Okay, sure. Let's go back into Joblin. Ooh, that's... Ooh, we still need to get a lot of stuff done, huh? The checklist goes on and on and on. Looking boots. Okay, let's go. Oh shoot. Oh. Nice. Okay, what's going on here? The composed or the exit strategies? Let's get the composed. Stay invincible for longer after being hit. Thank you. Hey. Could have been better. This is a shop. I do need to buy that coffee machine. Oh. Hey, 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 hey. Nice.
Delivery for Jonathan.
Jonathan? Who's Jonathan? Oh my god, the Skellycaster. Yes, don't mind if I do. And a job witch. Thank you. Nice. Joblin squad installation complete. Oh, 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 I get it. I can summon. Got it, got it. Do I want to buy this? I still don't have a lot of coins, huh? Interesting, interesting. How can I get a lot more coins? I can't even afford this. Hello? What is this? Disruptive? Ooh. Okay, you know what? Fine. Let's just go. Ooh, what is this? Plastic knife? Nice. Thank you.
Remember, Cubicle loves you.
Ooh. Penny puncher. Nice. Are you okay, dude? Okay, let's go. I still am $6 short for me to buy a coffee machine. Hey. Okay, what? Better cube. What is that? Frogo? No, it's a busted Frogo. Okay, okay, it's better than nothing, I guess. Okay, let's... Nice. Okay, let's go. Oh god. Nice. Aw, we didn't get a 5-star, but it's better than nothing.
Cubes make everything better.
A job witch. A tablet pen. Keyboard. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Nice. Come on, please tell me the coffee machine is still there. It's not. Oh god, okay. Improved crit chance at low health. Man, I don't think... Hmm. How can I get more money in the first level? Ooh, what is this? Cubicle reverb? The Internet of Things at your command. Hmm. Aww. Our goblin just died. RIP. Ooh, low chance to heal when you defeat an enemy. Okay, that sounds good. I really want that. Anything that can heal myself is good. Let's go see the Dracula. And what is this? For the next 3 combats, you must keep moving forward at any cost. Ooh, okay. How did you end up running a shop down here anyway? It seems like not too long ago that I was sleeping in a tiny coffin in a broken down crypt with barely any penny to my name. Wow, so what happened? Something occurred that changed the course of my life forever. I bumped into this sweet car, and the rest is history, my friend. Okay, what happened if I don't... Cubicle reverb. Okay, let's... Oh, okay, I guess that answered my question. I don't move, I am gonna get hit. Oh! Oh! Come on, man, I can't see.
I just love the fresh cube smell.
Deal extra dunk, extra damage with junk item. Oh god, okay. I'm quite scared right now because the weapon that I have right now is not that good. Abandoning abandoning hope, crushing it, pushing deadlines. Okay, let's go. Oh, dang, dang. Uh-oh, I am dead. I'm dead. Okay. I'm so dead. Ah! No, 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 no. Oh, come on. That sucks. Okay. Well, that's that's certainly an experience. Exciting news, Jackie. You found me a marketing job. No, a new dungeon just opened up. I can hear demonic chanting coming from down there. That's exciting news. I thought you wanted this thing shut. Well, I said exciting, not necessarily good. Anyway, now you've got more option for dungeons to explore. Your autonomy in the workplace have never been higher. Yeah, wow, I'm not sure which one to rate next. They both sound so great. And they say young people these days are sarcastic cynics. Have a good time, Jackie. Do fizzle proud. Well, hey, 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 there's my little rock star. I knew you would crush that task I give you. You got motivation, kid. It was no problem, really. Well, I've cooked up a little reward for you. Take the company card, kid. Buy yourself something nice. What? That seems completely irresponsible. Nothing I do is irresponsible, kid, because I am responsible for everything around here. Take it before I change my mind, kiddo. Opportunities like this don't come around every day. Mentor leveled up. When you equip Ray, you can use his company card to buy things you can't afford. Oh my god. Oh, okay. So that means I can buy the coffee machine. Okay, okay, that's good, that's good. Alright, lesson number 2 of Ray's Fizzling and Sizzling Entrepreneurship course. When you encounter an obstacle, punch right through it. Kapow! Obstacles too tough for your fist? Punch it anyway. Your fist will heal back even stronger and tougher. Come back once you're fully internalized this lesson. Have fun, Rockstar. Only use punches? That sounds doable. Defeat 10 monsters with only your bare hands. Interesting. What about you, Fern? What task do you have? Good day, Jacqueline. I don't suppose I could trouble you for a little favor? That's what I'm here for, apparently. Splendid. I need you to blow up some monsters for me. Uh, dare I ask why? Because, as always, Fizzle must be in pursuit of bold new flavors, and to help inspire me to create this flavor. I can't talk. I'm a little bit tired, to be honest, but I'm gonna push through this. And to help inspire me to create these flavors, I desire to see some monsters explode. Do not overthink my artistic process, Jacqueline. Wow, deal 50 damage from with explosion. Interesting. Is the running animation from this outfit changed into our goblin form? Interesting. Okay, let's pick. Start with raise company card and purchase stuff you can't afford. Okay, that's good. That's good because I need the coffee machine. But for now, I'm gonna call it a day. What is this? Oh, this is all of the tasks that we need to do. Ooh, there's a new business card? Jackie Fiasco, marketing intern at Fizzle Beverages. A fresh-faced college graduate excited for her first step into the world of corporate advertising. Fizzle Marth, project manager at Fizzle Beverages. Your friendly neighborhood project manager is willing to do whatever it takes for the sake of the team. Well, uh, how do you save? What is this? Winky Dink? All these people have a very nice name. Is it just me or does... Okay, that is just her normal running animation. Okay. I am very... Oh god, I can't read that. Oh my god. I am very small and have no money. Oh my god. Okay. That really really that really hurts. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This has been a very fun game actually. All of the reference of corporate hell life, they really translate well into the game. I really do had fun in this game, so next week I am gonna still play this game. I had really fun time. So um tomorrow tomorrow we are going to continue on with shapes. uh let's see how long I'm gonna get addicted to that game and how long I'm gonna stream. But one thing's for sure, I am gonna play quite a lot of shapes tomorrow. I've been so excited to play it again. I just want to play more shapes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Vigor for dropping by the stream. I really do appreciate your presence here. If you are watching this on YouTube, hello and welcome. Thank you for watching. Um, what else? Man, I really hope I can finish my project, my little project by the end of July this month, but it might be a little bit later. But I try setting up the deadline by the end of July, might be later. But anyway, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see y'all in the next stream. Goodbye.